Nice, beautiful high-speed railway station. Hi guys, we're in Chifeng in Inner Mongolia. It's my last day here in Inner Mongolia actually. And we're going to take a train south a little bit, only about 30-40 minutes. And we're going to go and visit another ancient capital of China in a little place called Ningcheng. Let's get going. We're back in the land of high-speed trains, which is nice. It's been a few weeks since I've been on a high-speed train, and I do like to travel by them in China. We're not actually a million miles away from Beijing here, believe it or not. Relatively close to the border of Hebei. Okay, so we're here at what was the central capital of the Liao dynasty, Dongjing. It's in a place called Ningcheng now. Oh, just outside of Ningcheng. I got up the train and it's about, I don't know, 20-minute taxi ride. And I mean, you're presented as soon as you arrive with this. It was built in 1098 originally, back in the days when this was a capital city of the Liao dynasty. It's had a lot of work done on it over the following dynasties, however, and a lot of the symbolism you see in it, such as the Buddhist symbolism, which unfortunately has been tarnished forever by the Nazis, was added in the much later Qing dynasty. That was the last imperial dynasty of China. What a spectacular building. To circumambulate this pagoda takes a while. It's got the biggest diameter of any pagoda anywhere in China, and I believe it's the second tallest ancient pagoda in China, after the Liao pagoda in Hebei, which I went to some time ago. It's about 80 meters high, this. The Daming Pagoda is the main remnant of the destroyed central capital of an ancient dynasty, and it is mightily impressive. But there are other things to discover here. So let's walk out of the town and into the fields. Wow, sun is so bright. That is a big one to tick off the list, isn't it, of pagodas I've visited. How many is that now? I don't know. I don't even know. 70 something, I think. We're doing pretty well. We're doing pretty well on the pagoda mission. So this is town. Let's have a little explore, shall we? See what we can find. It's only a little place, this. Like I say, it's not far off the high-speed rail network, which is kind of cool. Some fella sitting in the middle of the road just told me the way to go. Because there were some other ruined pagodas remaining from the old capital. I'm not really sure where they are 100%. He was like, they're just down this road. Down this road, apparently. Let's go. It's my last day in Mongolia today. I'll be heading back to Xi'an very briefly for like a day, and then going to England for the rest of my summer holidays. These videos, I'm going to get them out. Who knows when you've been watching this? Probably a couple of months after the fact, I suppose. Well, we're just coming into Ningcheng village, which I guess is here. It's quite nice, doesn't it? This village is just in sight of the huge pagoda. So this was Ningcheng village. You see all these travel bloggers, don't you? Coming to China and doing their, wow, China's so futuristic and the infrastructure is amazing. And it is if you're in the big cities, and when you come here it's a little bit more simple, you know. I quite like it. I live in a big city, obviously. I live in Xi'an, which is a very big city, about 12 million people, I think. But there is something nice about small villages. I'm from a pretty small town in England myself. I tend to think that people are a bit friendlier, aren't they? A little bit nicer. Obviously in China, because I'm a foreigner, and I guess I stand out. I definitely stand out. I suppose a lot of people are quite curious. This idea of people staring at you in China if you're a foreigner. It's a common thing that people talk about and have talked about for a long time. I don't know, it doesn't really bother me that much. People are just curious, like, why am I here? And it's a good question, because obviously not a lot of foreigners would come out to these places. If you are a foreign traveller and you find it quite, I don't know, intimidating, being looked at, just throw a smile, you know? It's very disarming, and people here are very friendly. Quite quiet though, isn't it? Not a lot of people around. I think we're almost at something else, I hope. Well, believe it or not, this line of corn actually marks what was the inside of the city. There's obviously the wall is still kind of standing a little bit. This sign here says Liao Zhongjing Ji, which is basically the ruins are the site of the old Liao capital of, well, the old central capital, Zhongjing. Just caught a glimpse of the top of another Liao dynasty pagoda, just in the distance over there. Few hundred meters away maybe. While I'm walking there, let's think about Inner Mongolia. So it's my last day today, and it's my first time to visit this vast part of China, and obviously therefore didn't cover huge parts of it, like the very famous the northern part, which is probably the most beautiful grassland in Inner Mongolia, and the western part, which is very much desert. I will get to these places at some point. However, this has been quite a journey. Big travel distances in this part of China, not really any high-speed trains. The slow trains are really slow, so it's a lot of bus journeying, 6-7 hour bus journeys and things like that. It's been good though, you know. I think the lovely people, great food. Some of the best food I think I've ever had in China, to be honest. It's all meat and milk, basically. Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. It's been quite an adventure. I do like coming out to these sites like this, where we are today, and they're in the middle of nowhere, really. And there's actually not a lot going on in these towns. They're quite small, just kind of farm villages, I suppose. And then they'll just have this one huge relic from the past. And more often than not in these parts, it is a Liao dynasty pagoda, which are amongst the biggest ever built by any Chinese dynasty. Quite spectacular. I'm enjoying this history in this part of China. It's very different from, well, further south. I mean, I consider myself to live in the north of China, of course, in Xi'an, but this is the real north, isn't it? Let's be honest. All remnants of the old city walls. When you come to these places, like whether it was Xanadu or the upper capital, where I was in Balinzoti, or here, it's very difficult to believe that they were once capital cities, great capital cities. The Liao dynasty had 5 capital cities. This was the central capital. And they based their capitals, particularly this one, on the model of Tang dynasty Chang'an, which is today Xi'an, where I live, which was the greatest city of its time in the world. So the actual name of this pagoda is long forgotten, but today it's called the Zhongjing Small Pagoda, because obviously there's one of the biggest pagodas in China right next to it. However, it's overshadowed by its neighbour, you can just see in the distance over there. But this is spectacular, and I think if it's anywhere else in China, this is the site, isn't it? Quite like these lions, stone lions sticking their heads out of the bottom of the pagoda. Also, I apologise, this is not actually Liao dynasty, it is Jin dynasty. It was built in 1158. The Jin, the Jurchen people, they were the ones who essentially took over the Khitan Liao kingdom, basically wiped them out before they themselves in turn were taken out, like everyone else, by the Mongols. Right, well, let's keep moving on, shall we, guys? God, there's some wonderful old history around here. This will have once been a great gate of the city. And there's a village in here, it's called Sun, which is like, it means like inside the city village. This village sits in what was once a great imperial capital. Times have definitely changed in the last 1,000 years. Oh, and I got picked up again by some lovely people living in Mongolia. The view here is so crazy, you know, these big blue skies. The line of the city wall is very clear here, and still the huge pagoda is still really visible. We're quite a long way from that now as well. This very nice man and his wife just picked me up on the road and gave me a lift here. As I was just saying, people here are so friendly. You know, see a random white dude walking down the street and just like, hey, get in, man. It's very nice. So this is just known as the Half Pagoda for obvious reasons. Obviously it's the top half has been knocked off or destroyed a long time ago, but it's Liao dynasty. It dates back to 1059. I've got to assume that the top was a densely eaved pagoda, you know, like the other two we've seen today. It's very standard style for Liao dynasty pagodas. God, it's so nice out here. I think we'll have a walk back. That was very nice to get a lift over there. It's a few more kilometres. It's real hot today, real hot. Hello, cows. Well, this is nice. For my last day here in Inner Mongolia, honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. I think at the end of a long trip, towards the end, I feel a bit, you know, I'm ready to relax and chill out a bit. When I travel, I get up super early every day and I'm just out doing stuff all the time. So after, you know, a few weeks of that, I'm kind of a bit dead on my feet. And I felt like that when I woke up this morning. I was like, oh man, maybe I should just stay in bed or just sit in a coffee shop all day and drink coffee. I'm glad I came out, you know. I think it's normal, right, when you travel like the way I do. I take really long journeys to go to find, you know, to find half a pagoda. God damn, I'm so glad, I'm so happy I came out. Never disappoints me, China. I really mean that. As a place to visit, it's the best in the world. I really mean that. They just offered me a lift back again, but I'm going to walk it because I want to have a quick look at some of these walls. And to be honest, I just want to walk, you know, enjoy this beautiful weather. Now, the importance of these walls. Now, when you think China, you think walls, right? Obviously the Great Wall, but historically, you know, most cities in China were completely walled. It's just how things were built in China. The Khitan people did not do that because they were, you know, nomadic people. But once Abaoji, the first emperor of the Khitan Liao dynasty, took the reins, this nomadic lifestyle changed. Walled cities were built and this area is covered in them. The Liao government, however, did retain some of their nomadic lifestyle, constantly on the move between their 5 capital cities. Following the Khitan, other northern peoples, the Jurchens and then the Mongols, would also adopt a vast use of rectangular walled cities, building deeper connections with their southern neighbours. If you look at all the dynasties in Chinese history, there have been so many capital cities you cannot believe. Maybe I should try and visit them all. That's the next map. After the pagoda map, all the capital cities of China, there must be 100 at least. Maybe am I over exaggerating that? I'm not sure. Let's figure it out. These flowers are quite lovely, aren't they? Oh, I wonder if wonder if I can find a shop around here. I'm gasping for a drink. Well, while we're walking out this little village, guys, I think we might wrap it up there for my last video from Inner Mongolia. It's been a real experience, this. Good place to travel. Bit more challenging than I think traveling in most places in China, but worthwhile. So guys, until next time, all the best. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye. Bye.